The evaluation of Mr. Cox was completed and all have been turned in and have been reported. I had a review with Mr. Cox and we went over the scores and the comments. There were a couple of comments, both were very, very good comments. He scored 4.36 on a 5 rating. Approves him for an additional year on his contract. He had a very good report. There are a lot of good things that we went over and a couple of things that could be worked on to be even better. But overall, it was a very good report. Any questions that any board member had or any things I felt like were discussed, and we had a good review. Also, in that, out of that, we will make a motion to do an additional 1 year on his contract with a 4.36 rating. And we will also, in the motion, amend the contract for a 4% raise, which will be the same as the certified and classified received. And that's my motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Well, I do appreciate the board and the confidence that you've put in me. I appreciate the feedback, that the things that you all feel like that I have done well, and also the things that I need to improve on. You know, I'm very, very open with that, and you know, I know there's not perfect, and I know there's things that I need to work on as well. So I will, you know, work on those things as, you know, getting more, I guess, not personal, but more getting out of the schools more was one of the things that I need to do. Sometimes I get tied to the office more than I need to get tied to the office, unfortunately. So one of those things, and then, you know, making sure I communicate, you know, more with the staff and the teachers, and other couple of things that I had that I need to work on. So I appreciate that feedback. Scott sat down with me and we went over all of that. But I just wanted to say thank you. You know, been here 24 years. Enjoy my job immensely. Enjoy the work that I do in our school system and the people that I work with and the children that we're fortunate enough to work with. And I just appreciate the confidence that you've placed in me, and the continued support that you've given not only me, but all of our staff and our school system, the things that you do for our school system. So just wanted to say thank you for that, and I'll continue to work hard every day and do the best I can. Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda? Motion. I have a second.
A second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Next up is student advisory.
Summertime.
Summertime student advisory.
There you go.
Come on.
They're advising that they're not here tonight.
Come on. Okay, next up is recognitions. And I have one. I gotta figure out what I did with it. Here it is. Okay, so as you all know, we have gone to a new recognition program. It's basically the same, but anybody and everybody can make a recommendation for somebody in the school system. So we have our first. It's online with the school system's website. So our first is recommended. I don't know, I can't read the signature. But anyway, it's for Ms. Brenda McGinnis from West Elementary. Position in the school is in the cafeteria service. Why does this person deserve to be the employee of the month? Because she is the very first one to come in to start cooking breakfast and lunch. She's very nice and smiles at everybody. She's a hard worker and the best cook. It's a hard job to cook, and without our cafeteria women would not be able to get a good hard cooked meal. Okay, so Ms. Brenda McGinnis, would you come up, please? There she is.
Thank you.
Here's your
Congratulations.
bag.
Would you like to have us speak?
Feel free to speak.
No, I just enjoy being around with kids and I enjoy speaking.
We appreciate the job you do. What you do. I have a couple.
One of yours didn't show up.
It's become one of our traditions as we have employees, members of our team retire, that we recognize them with a clock. And we have two tonight. Ms. Sherry Trotman and Ms. Diana Zadeh are both retiring this year. And we had our annual retirement cookout before school was out. And both Les and Saeed were able to come. So their husbands who've supported them low these many years and will support them for many years to come. But we presented them with some gifts from our team here and for their service. But I'd like to first ask Sherry to come up. This reads, Sherry Trotman in appreciation of 30 years of service to the Warren County school system. And this comes from school board and also our team here. I'd like to present you with that clock.
I've truly enjoyed being a part of this team. I have always felt like we were doing a great work, and so that has made it a pleasure all these years. And I just am thankful for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, it's an alarm clock too.
Yeah.
I'll be turning that off.
Maybe Les can use that alarm. And I'll ask Diana to come up, making her way up. Same script. Ms. Diana Zadeh, in appreciation for 44 years of service to the Warren County school system in various capacities. So Diana, I want to present you. Thank you for everything.
Well, when I started ESL about 30 years ago, we invited the board to a dinner because most of them did not know what ESL stood for. We only had a few Japanese families then. But we fed the board. We had the Japanese ladies come in and feed them. And we wouldn't let them use forks. We made them try to use the chopsticks. And the ladies were so generous in explaining to the board why it's so important to have ESL. And that was before there was a state law or a mandate for it. So the board has always been so supportive of this program. We started with 9, and now we have about 460 that are active within being served by ESL, and then we have all of those that have exited and going on to colleges in a lot of cases. Jimmy had two graduate actually this year, one graduated early. And so I'm sort of going out, of course testing has been in there, but I'm sort of going out. One of the first things I did was register Japanese students in ESL. And the last thing I'm doing is working on their packets. Because when they go back to Japan, they have packets. So Joy has to notarize about 100 sheets to go back to Japan, and Jimmy's had to do numerous letters and stuff. But I want to thank, I've always had support from our directors and the board. So it's my baby. So, I'm not crying. It's my baby, but I'm giving it up to a good person. She's very knowledgeable and very active, and so I'd like to think she's following in my footsteps. Thank you.
Appreciate both Diane and Sherry so much. They, varied careers. Diana beginning in ESL and moving into testing, has been a state evaluator, has been a teacher, and has done an outstanding job. Sherry, same way at Dibble, from teacher to principal to supervisor, and now training our new her replacement. So I would like to recognize Vicki Dodd. So Vicki is here tonight. She will be moving principalship at Hickory Creek, where she has been principal there for 4 years now. Instructional coordinator and teacher there as well. So we're going to welcome Vicki in. She's been doing like a lot of our new folks, drinking out of a fire hose right now to try to get everything learned and in. So we welcome Vicki. Mike Mansfield will be moving from Irving College to take over Vicki's role as moving from our smallest elementary school to our largest elementary school. Felt like we needed somebody experienced there, and Vicki's been transitioning that. So in that same vein, Rachel Graves is here tonight, and she is the new principal at Irving College, who's taking Mike's place, and she's been a teacher and instructional coordinator there. So I wanted to introduce Rachel to the board and give her an opportunity if she's got anything to say, or Vicki. Vicki's good. Rachel's good. Rachel's had 3 days of principal's retreat. Drinking out of a fire hose too. And we'll have Kim in, who is Kim Henniger, is replacing Diana, and she's been working with Diana for the last 4 years on Race to the Top grant with ESL, certified ESL teacher, and also been helping out with testing. So we'll make sure we get her in. So,
She's on with test,
yeah.
with ESL test scores, so she's
Yeah.
analyzing
Working
them.
on that. So any other board have any questions or comments for these fine folks?
How many years' experience did we just lose?
Well,
74.
74 years. Yeah. But I don't think they'll go far. You know, we'll still have to reel people in. But that's a huge amount. Anytime we lose experienced administrators and educators, it's difficult. It's something that hard to replace that many years of experience, especially from ground up program, from start of the ESL program to where it's at currently. From how many students? 0 to 400.
Almost 500.
And gaining every year. So, and then we were working today even on the budget with Sherry and Vicki, and Sherry's done a great job with the federal programs budget and working with it seems like ever changing funding programs, as well as the new E-Plan program. She's been able to take that on and learn that as well. So we appreciate both of you. Appreciate everything you've done, all the years that you've given Warren County schools and to our children. We appreciate it.
One second, real quick. These two, along with most of the ones in this room, they put in a lot of extra time. I know when I worked with Diane, it was after hours, I think.
Oh, she's always out here.
You know, I don't know how many hours she's put in. And both of them have put in. I spent many hours PTO. But both of these ladies have put in well beyond their years, as if you put it on the books. And I really appreciate that, because I know how much effort they've been above and beyond their jobs.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And it's exciting to have the two new ones, you know. And I mean, they took different offices, how much they've done for the school system. It's exciting to see what the new ones are running. So I really appreciate what they've done.
I appreciate that. Appreciate that.
I hope to volunteer, so that's
She's not going far.
Joey just wants me to get my mess
She's
out.
there. She's not going far.
30 years of mess, that's all she's looking for.
Okay, next up is operations report by Mr. Cox, and everybody with their PCs, it's on page 15.
Okay. We do have some special courses that we'd like to get approved tonight. These are, 3 of those are just renewals. We've had those last year. The mechatronics, we're going to go ahead and send in a renewal. That's a program of study now, but we're going to go ahead and send that renewal in. The PE4 is a conditioning course that we have at the high school, and then our history of modern music is a renewal. The American Sign Language course is a new course that we may enter into, or at least have the opportunity to enter into if students need that course. Even Mr. Walker may have some comments, or Ms. Wood. I think they've worked with both of those.
Actually, we had all 31 kids sign up for that course this year.
Okay.
Which is I've been working with Ms. Laura Butler to be a liaison with Ms. Patty Smith, who teach that.
Okay.
So we felt like that's an opportunity to use kids in a different perspective.
And these are special courses that have to be approved by the board, and then they have to be approved by the State Department of Education as well. But board approval comes first, and I think that information's been in your packet, so I just ask for your approval for those, and we'll forward those on.
So we need to put a motion before the board to, excuse me, to approve the Special Forces Code, American Sign Language 1, Mechatronics 1 and 2, renewal, PE 4, speed, strength, and conditioning renewal, history of water and music is renewal. Do I have a motion to
So
approve?
moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Uh,
All opposed?
While we're on this, Bobby, Mr. Walker's here, the mechatronics sign-ups, early, advanced, interest in courses, how we doing?
It was a little slow at first, and then due to constraints that was put on, that they looked at taking the ACT score there, because I don't say constraint, but just a higher expectation. But after that, we went in on an extensive recruiting tool, and we've actually filled the section pretty decent. I mean, I know that last year we talked about right at 40-something. We felt like we was going to sign up to do our CAD. The one good thing about this is that we have had to offer multiple CAD classes, which is the computer arts drafting this year. I mean, it's took off, which is the kind of prerequisite we're looking at to the intro into the mechatronics for junior year. And hopefully next year, Melissa and I talked about recruiting even our incoming freshmen when we did open house to open up the school, to take them back to see the lab. We did a school-wide, and she gained several students when she did that. And we have a change of venue coming June the 3rd, where the kids can go in and change their schedule. We feel like that may increase more.
I just wondered what your mechatronics out to country club. There was only one female. I just wondered if did any more females?
I think there was some more, but, and I'm not trying to divert from something, we actually had the first female sign up for welding this next year. So, which is awesome. So, I mean, I think if we can get through these barriers and do that, I think it can expand. And that young lady is an awesome young lady. And hopefully she can recruit more.
Well, I think this whole board certainly supports the idea of your school promoting the idea that these occupations, these careers and skill development paths are open regardless of gender.
Right.
I know we're dealing with the age-old stereotype and a culture that's, doesn't agree with that theory, but I'm just encouraged to see some of the posters you have on the walls in the CTE wing showing women in occupations that, I guess, according to that old stereotype, were reserved for men. So that's positive.
And to piggyback about Mr. Beckman, Mr. Cox and I were at the pinning of our CNA. Out of 11 students that went through the CNA program, 10 of them passed their certification test. And it was, I think, two males, maybe three
Yeah, I
males.
think
Three males in that, which is the reverse of what we tend to think.
Yeah, that's very good.
Thank you. The next item is our commitment to the coordinated school health program. That's been in your packet. That is so that we can accept the funds and our obligations for coordinated school health for 15-16. So just have to ask for your approval on that document.
Make a motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye. All opposed?
The next item is our consolidated application approval. That's our federal programs budget. Ms. Trotman has worked on that. It's in electronic form in E-Plan, and we're continuing to make changes as the state asked us to make that. That document's also in in your plan. We can answer any questions, and Ms. Trotman is here, she can answer any questions about that. But that's our flow-through money for Title I program, all our federal programs, special education, ESL, et cetera. So I just asked for your approval on the consolidated application.
I had one question.
Okay.
Is Ms. Dodd gonna read that to us like you do every year?
My last official act.
Cover to cover.
From cover to cover.
Oh.
No, but she has been, she actually has been working with me, so I'm so excited. So very excited.
Yeah, we'll have to start 4 or 5 o'clock before I'll read that one.
Okay, so you need a motion to
Yes,
approve.
need a motion to approve.
consolidated
I'll make that motion, Madam Chairperson.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Also, in your package tonight is our differentiated pay plan proposal. We're required, since last year, to do a differentiated pay plan within our district. It's due on June 30th of each year. Last year, our plan highlighted a couple of different things. One, we were looking at bonus pay for teachers regarding AMO approval or AMO improvement. That was handled within our 4% raise that's in our budget that the governor passed this year. We also paid our mentors. We had mentors for all of our level 1 teachers to support them. They received a stipend. And we also had learning leaders that attended professional development and came back and brought that back into our schools and shared that. So they received a stipend as well for attending that professional development above their required 5 days. This year's plan is a little bit different. We're asking that we have mentors for our new principals, since we do have new principals in. We still have our mentorship program for teachers, but we felt like if we could stipend our new principals with our experienced principals to kind of mentor them in their role. And then also we had our instructional coordinators, adding an 11th month to them with the testing increases, new online testing, new curriculum. They're working several hours over and above and beyond. We felt like this was something that our group, as we met, felt like would be a justified differentiated pay opportunity for them. So those 2 items are what I put before the board for your consideration. I think they will meet with the state's approval, and I just ask for the approval on that.
I have a motion to adopt the differentiated pay plan that Barbie suggested.
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye. No opposed?
Move forward with that. Next item is our 90% reading goal. Autumn, is there?
What I'd like to share this month is just an update on the books that you've been hearing me talk about for several months. They are in and they are out. We received them probably, I don't know, maybe late April, early May, something like that, about 3,000 of them. And I kind of coordinated with the schools and some other organizations to see who was having summer reading programs. And then for each school that was, or each organization that was, how many books that they would like to have for their anticipated attendance at any of those events. So we distributed around just over 2,200 books to the different schools that are having summer reading. We have Hickory Creek, Irving College, Morrison West, Dibble, Centertown, and then we also partnered with Magnus Library and Morrison Library, and also with Kids of the Community. So those organizations have summer reading events pretty much all summer long. I think on your tables you should have a postcard. That's part of the free marketing materials that we received from the National Children's Reading Foundation. And if you turn that over, it has a schedule with some of the events, not all of the events. So you can see kind of when reading events are going on this summer. You also have a window clean that was provided by the national organization just to help promote reading. We have different other marketing materials like big, huge vinyl posters that the different sites have received. So I'm happy to report that those books will get out in the hands of kids this summer. The books range from, 0 to 1 age-appropriate books to books that are appropriate for 8-year-olds. And over on the table, you can see a sampling of those books, really high-quality books, Cat in the Hat, Baby Beluga for some of the infants. So that's something that will really benefit our children in our community this summer. Another really great thing going on this summer that I'll tell you about very quickly is through a partnership with TOS, the superintendent's organization, we have a free summer program where kids can go online and get access to free ebooks that they can read on any kind of device, iPad, laptop, computer, smartphone. So the way that works is kids will get on, it's called MyOn, I don't know if I mentioned that, but they can log on. Every Warren County student, I think it's maybe 2nd grade through 8th grade, can log in, take a short kind of placement test, and then the program will find age-appropriate and reading ability-appropriate books that are kind of targeted to the student's interest as well, and then they have access to that all summer long. So that's another way we're trying to promote summer reading so we can kind of stop that summer reading loss.
Is there a test after they read each book?
It works with Accelerated Reader, so they can go on and take the Accelerated Reader test. So yes, basically. So good opportunities for our kids this summer.
Do you have any early indication as to how many kids might be of this past experience? Do you have any clues how many kids should be participating?
In the summer reading events where they'll receive the free books, I don't know that we've ever tracked that. We've had summer reading programs at different schools before, but for the purposes of the grant, I have to submit a report weekly for any events that took place during that week for number in attendance and then also number of books given out. So we'll have an idea this year about how many books we gave out. I also failed to mention that we gave about 500 books away to kids that came through at pre-K and kindergarten screening. So that takes our total for the books that were given out to the schools in the summer, different events at like Magnus and Morrison libraries and the community. That will put us at about 2,700 books. So we still have around 300 that we are saving to give away at like the fair. We always, or the past year or two, we've set up a table at the fair to sign kids up for books from birth and also to give away free books. And then if we have any left over, we'll probably set up at the Autumn Street Fair as well and provide free books.
Just real quickly, you might kind of talk about this study, but what's pretty shocking, it says many children lose 3 months reading skill in just one summer. And the summer slide begins the first week the students are out of school.
Which I don't know, I can't cite that research specifically, but I can speak to our results from last year on STAR when we tested in the spring and then compared the same results with the same cohort of kids. When school started back in August, there were drastic drops, drastic. 20, 30, maybe even more percent difference in meeting the benchmark that we set just between, the 2 months that we're out for summer. So and of course the National Children's Reading Foundation, they pull from several studies and, peer review journals and things like that. So I'm sure there's something to those facts.
Serious loss.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's a
We,
lot.
also will, make known too that we have our libraries in most schools are open during the summer, at least 1 or 2 nights a week, so that the students can come in. The students have been notified, they can check out books, they can take their AR test. I think actually the middle school maybe starts next week, and Each school has their own summer reading program as well, so to try to curb that. So it's a good opportunity to get into schools. All right, thanks, Autumn. Next two items are just for your information, personnel report and our personnel assignments for next year as recommended by our principals. So if there's any questions, I'll try to answer anything about those. Okay, just a couple other items involving school nutrition. Just wanted to bring you up to date. We had a good turnout for our retirement banquet a few weeks ago for school nutrition at Hickory Creek. Appreciate Dr. Dawes organizing that and the work that went on. But in April we started our CEP program at the high school and got preliminary numbers back the middle of this month that our breakfast participation had increased 16% and our lunch participation 30% from the non-CEP to CEP. So that's great. So more kids and students were taking advantage of that free breakfast and free lunch at the high school level. So we'll continue that on for next year. And then also we apply every year for the fresh fruit and vegetable program. West Elementary's got it for the last couple of years, I believe. And they received the funding this year again at West Elementary in the amount of $23,350 that will provide fresh fruits and vegetables for those students there. So that's a program that is very, very instrumental for that school, and we appreciate Dr. Dawes and the School Nutrition Department looking for those opportunities. So that concludes my operations report, Madam Chair.
Okay, next up on the agenda is curriculum and achievement committee. Mr. Zettman?
Okay, thank you, Madam Chairperson.
It's on page 60, by the way.
Yeah, 60 or 61, let me scroll down there. The first, well, before I get there, the first item is kind of lengthy. It has to do with the use and management of the Chromebooks. It's about a 3 or 4 page policy statement. We don't have the scripture code on that right now.
Yeah, that's not well, that won't actually go into board policy. That is just guidelines for use. Okay. So we won't have to have 2 readings, so it won't actually be going into board policy, but we do need board approval.
Well, let me just note, and Bobby, you and Robin may want to talk about this also, but just so everybody is aware of this, when we distribute Chromebooks, one of the most salient things about this statement is that students have no expectation of privacy. Any teacher or Warren County school system employee can open up, look at emails, look at browsing histories, look at anything in there. So I think it's important that students and parents know right up front, and let's put it on record, and here's the policy statement on it. No expectation of privacy. And a couple of other things are pretty stand out pretty much, and that's that the parents, when they sign this, are ultimately responsible for the use of that Chromebook.
Right, correct.
And what kind of sites they're visiting. Certain commercially available sites are off limits, as they should be. And also, one other thing that I noted in the policy statement is that there is to be no student-to-student sharing of Chromebooks. Use your own and nobody else's. And those were the things that were most salient in my opinion. And Robbie, if you and Robin had something more to say about it.
Our Chromebook project is, this will be the first year, providing everything goes well and it's funded. Budget passing, and that would provide a Chromebook, which is much like this device, to our 8th grade students. That would begin our one-to-one technology process over the next 5 years, hopefully, where we would continue to add to that, where students will be able to have their device, they would be able to access electronic textbooks and curriculum, they'd be able to access open source materials, and then hopefully we can start transitioning from paper textbooks to electronic textbooks. So, this has been done in other counties. Katrina and Betty and Autumn, I know, have gone and looked at Tullahoma City Schools and some of the other districts that have started this process. We gathered some information and did our due diligence there. And then this, with working with Robin and Katrina to develop our use policy of how we would do this. We'll probably have to tweak that along the way. It's a starting point, but those devices, just like any other computer, is the property of Warren County Schools. And there will be certain safeguards that will be there for those devices. One being inspection. The student will be able to take that home, be able to use it at home, provided they have internet access. But at the end of the school year, that's the property of the school. They would be taken back in and looked at and upgraded over the summer. There's also a program called Go Guardian on that. If there's access being gained from other sites, things of that type, then we get messages from that through our technology department, and that device can be shut down remotely if need be. And then there's also a tracking device. If for some reason the device is tried to be stolen or misplaced or left somewhere and somebody picks it up, then whenever that device is turned on, then it's much like your iPhone that's got a tracker or a smartphone, then we can see where that device is at and shut it down. So this is, like I said, most school districts are moving in this direction. This is our first step. I think it'd be great for our students. I think it will obviously divert some funds eventually for us and get us moving into the technology age as well. So I think it'd be a great thing. So just need the board's approval on that guideline.
I have a question. A lot of times we are bombarded as parents in the beginning of the school year with documents to sign.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know when this waiver is going to be presented to the parent and the child alike? Just so they can know the importance of what they're signing and not just sign and send it back to school.
We can certainly put that up on our website as soon as it's passed by the board, so and get that out to the public so they can see that. Secondly, it'll be at school, at probably registration or sometime after that, to where they can sign that and return that to their school. So we'll have that on time.
Madam Chairperson, I'm going to move for approval of the statement entitled Warren County Schools Parent, Guardian, and Student Computer Acceptance and Permitted Use of School-Owned Equipment Agreement.
Motion's been made to approve this parent, guardian, student, computer acceptance, and permitted use of school on equipment agreement. Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any further discussion?
When,
All in favor, say aye. Oh, sorry, Scott.
when those are distributed, probably a good idea to send out a call to those parents to let them aware to take notice of.
Yeah. Well, we will do that, but we also had discussed at our principals retreat having at least 2 or more opportunities for them to come to the school so that we can do a in-service in the evenings on how to use the device and the requirements, things of that type. So we'll use, multiple means of notification, but we'll definitely do that.
Would it be feasible, and I don't know whether or not, just maybe sometime in July, send a letter to all the 8th grade parents, giving them a heads up, letting them know that this is what's happening for the next school year with your student. So that they know, like Tanya said, if they're just not signing paperwork.
Exactly. Yeah, and if there's a way.
This is new. This is something
Right.
you've got to be watching for.
Yeah, if we have, email address or things like that for them, we can push that out as well. So yeah, we can do that.
And just kind of give them a heads up, and then that way, when they start getting that packet
Right.
at registration, they just don't start signing stuff and not realize what they're really truly signing.
Exactly. Yeah, we know the paperwork is overwhelming. We've tried to reduce that as much as we can. And unfortunately, there's all the legal requirements and waivers and things of that type that we have to have. And every year, those attorneys like to have all that stuff.
Tell us this past one to the doctor's office. When you stress the importance of something, it's just not in your packet. I think parents take note, maybe.
Yeah, I agree, totally. Yeah, we'll get the word out and get that out of multiple ways.
And one last thing, Madam Chairperson, do not personalize your Chromebook or the hard shell. No stickers, no drawing on it, like the mortar boards at graduation. Do not get creative with the Chromebook.
There we go. And I will say one more thing on that, and then I'll be quiet. But the homepage of the Chromebook, or the view screen that you see when it's logged into, we had a contest system-wide, and students prepared artwork for the homepage. So I think the one that was selected was actually a high school student, I believe, and the symbol is a tree in the Chromebook colors, and that's going to be the page that's going to be used. So every year, Katrina came up with this. Every year, as we buy new Chromebooks, then we'll have another contest. And that'll be a way that we can keep up with when they were, obviously we've got inventory stickers, but we can see when the Chromebook was bought by the artwork that's on the front of it. So, and then they are in a hard shell case where if they're dropped, and the agreement that we have with our vendor is that for the number that we buy, then we have extras so that we can get those if something does happen, that they're dropped accidentally or something along those lines, then we can replace those instantly while we get that one fixed. And then we also have an agreement that they replace that at no charge if they're dropped. So we've got a pretty good contract and we'll deal with it now.
Okay, is there any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Madam Chairperson, we do have a couple of policy statements. Let me get down there. The first one is CGL, Administrative and Supervisory Transfers. Let me get that up here. Okay. And the only thing I can see in that is just sort of a cleaning up the language, making it a little bit clearer. Bobby, do you or Robin want to address that?
That was just on advice of Mr. Cagle that we get that in line with state law.
Well, let's drop on down to the second one here on first reading, and that is JGFGA, driver's license revocation. And what I see different about that is that basically we're tightening up the requirements. So is that the way you read it? If you, prior to the revocation notice going out from the school system, the Department of Safety, you would fail to achieve passing grades in 4 classes. Now we're making it 3 classes. Is that right? Do I understand that?
It's a majority of classes. That's what it has to be. So the change is to make it, now that we have 7 classes, it would need to be 4. 4 classes
Okay.
would be a majority.
So that doesn't then materially affect it, it's just because we have 7 classes. Is that what, okay.
That's right.
Okay.
And it's,
The past, it was 6 periods, was 3, which was half. So with the 7 periods, you could,
Oh, yeah, okay. That makes sense. Okay, Madam Chairperson, I'm going to move for adoption of policies CGL and JGFGA.
We have a motion on the floor to approve policy CGL and JGFGA on first reading. Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
And that's all the business for curriculum and achievement, Madam Chairperson.
Okay, next up is facilities and resource management. Ms. Bess?
Okay, we have 3 items discussed tonight. Bobby Reguly just was discussing a couple of different ways that they could tackle this project was to tackle the project in whole, and I think the cost of that was right at $185,000, or maybe the second option would be to remove the concrete bleachers and install aluminum bleachers at a project of about $96,500. In the end, there was a motion made, to move the Bobby Ray bleachers to the capital project strategic plan and review that for the near future.
So we have a motion on the floor to approve moving the bleachers from the Bobby Ray building project right now into our strategic plan for capital project. Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Secondly, Irving College property, 10 acres adjacent to the current campus, came on the floor as a motion to be bought at $15,000 or better. Motion failed in committee. And thirdly, our building projects. So correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay, all right.
Warren County High School, Bobby Ray was awarded same construction.
Correct.
Okay, Bobby Ray, we're gonna subtract the alternate #1 bid and hold the pricing on the bleachers for 6 months.
We're gonna negotiate with the vendor or the construction company to a date that they can hold their pricing, yes.
On the wellness center, we did include all alternate bids.
Except for 3 and 5.
On the wellness?
I mean 5 only, so yes.
We excluded 5?
Mhm. I think that's
No,
right.
she's talking about the high school.
The high school.
Oh, no, okay, high school, that's correct. All bids
All
on high
bids
school.
include, okay.
Yes, correct, correct.
Irving College, low bidder was Romac Incorporated. And we did not use alternate bid 5 and 3, as I understand it. And that's the motion that came out.
Motion's been made to approve the contractors as stated for Warren County High School Sports Complex, Bobby Ray, and Irving College. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
And that's all I have.
Is there anything else that needs to be reported? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
50 minutes.